So here on the 20th of August 2021, and we got kind of a clear morning. It's beautiful, beautiful day. We got back yesterday. I have to say, on our trip back, we got lipped. we came out of Batangas port, and by the way, it's all uphill, and we were pulling quite a load, with all the coconuts and stalks of bananas and all the rest of the stuff. So good morning. The trike was loaded pretty good. Get back. So it was loaded pretty good. We never got out of third gear, but when we got to the Air Force airport over here in Lipa, I looked at my watch and it was only an hour. I was thinking, oh wow, we did pretty damn good. We made good time. It took us from our house to get to the port just on the bike an hour, and we're already over a stone's throw from Wes's house. So okay, that's pretty good. We did okay. It's not as bad as I thought. Well, we got lipped because from the airport to our house, which isn't that far at all, guys. Morning. It took us an hour, so it was a 2-hour trip. The traffic was just murder. But the bike did one thing. It did with the low gearing. It was just perfect in the slow speed traffic. It was ideal. I will to help me with the small. Watch out! To help me with the small little hills that we got to go up to and driveways and stuff. I'll have, so we don't bang the front end so hard. I'll put the 13 sprocket on today, and if I don't like it, I'll just take it off. But I got to get in there and check the valves. It actually did pretty good. It just was overloaded. And when we start hauling block and stuff, or if we have to haul sand or cement or anything, the seat and the roofs will be off. Morning. And they're pretty heavy. Hey, they're pretty heavy. I had them made extra heavy duty because I had a Trycycle before, and the guy made the top, and it's got to be a little higher than normal for me so that I fit. And it broke. The welds broke. We had to take it back. He wound up having to change a bunch of stuff. It just was a nightmare what happened with that. So I learned from that. But the thing about this one, another thing I learned when I watched guys do it when they make these seats that they want to remove. And the problem with the seats they want to remove, they'll put it on 4 posts. And trying to get 4 posts out is a bummer, especially when the Trycycle flexes and all that. So I had mine done on 2, straight across from each other, and that helped out. That helped out quite a bit with pulling in and out. It's easy to pull in and out. It's at the right length and everything that you don't have to take the roof off to do it. It just makes it out of there. But all these things were stuff I wanted, been thinking about, writing down when I see somebody with a cool idea on the trike. The only other thing I forgot to mention to them that I wanted was curb feelers. Got to get me a Cadillac emblem on the back, but I need some curb feelers for it. But when we got home, kids missed us big time. We got dogpiled for a while, and then we unloaded the trike, and of course, they got to go for a ride. So I decided to take them for a nice big ride. And with the kids in it, it was buzzing along just fine, guys. It was doing really good. A lot of folks said, "Oh, it's a real bummer." Nah, it's not that. We had the Honda. We had that really nice Honda 150 that was designed for a Trycycle. I did change the front sprocket from a 14 to a 13, and of course the trike was much lighter than this one. It wasn't heavy duty at all, really. And it buzzed along. I mean, this is no kidding. When we went to Maduro and we were on the coming off the mountain road, when we hit the level, the plain they call it, where all the rice fields are, we were doing 90 kilometers per hour, which when you're doing that on a Trycycle, you're buzzing, and it tracked really well. This one, with all the weight, I had to, when I first took off, I had to rebalance the weight because you hit the gas and the front end wanted to pull up. I had too much in the back, so we had to move coconuts to the front and rearrange things where my wife sat and everything to get it to work right. So you have to think about that kind of stuff when you're doing these kind of builds. But honestly, guys, I don't think that the if you're going to do a real lightweight machine, just a people like my last tricycle, yeah, throw it on that Yamaha 125 and you're good to go. I had Wes was saying about the Baracco. Well, when you can get a bike for 48 and then the Baracco's 90, they want a lot of money for them. And it said on the advertisement 5-speed. He sent me a little clip of an advertisement, but I've never seen any of them that were 5-speed, even the new ones, unless there's a cheaper model that only has the 4-speed. But I've seen them with the electric start out here. And the one thing you have to worry, the only reason I didn't buy the Honda again, that damn shift pattern got me in trouble every time, guys. Every time that I got in trouble and I needed power right now, I kicked down, because that's what, you're 1 down and 4 or 5 up on every American bike. This one, it's backwards. So every time I needed power, my brain said, kick it down, and what did I do? I went up a gear. That's why I did not buy that bike. I refused to buy that because I was afraid it was going to get me in trouble again. Now, I didn't get in too bad of trouble last time, but it just wasn't right. Now, this one's kind of a bummer, because instead of it being 1 down and 3 up, it's a 4-speed. It's all up. It's all up. Down, and once you get past first gear, then you kick it into neutral, and I don't like that either. I wish I could just find a bike that has 1 down and 4 up or 5 up. This one here, it doesn't need a higher gear. It really doesn't. I think once I have the 13.2 sprocket, that'll be a creeper gear, and it'll be a 3-speed. On level or downhill, you just pop her in second. But I'll play around with it. I still don't think it's a bad machine, though. If you're going to come here and build a tricycle and you want to do it on a budget, that's your bike. Just don't build it. Build it super heavy like this one. So you can get. There's a fellow up in Manila that builds tricycles out of all aluminum. I think the axle's the only metal he has on it. He puts a heavy axle, and then the entire trike is aluminum. I hope I can find his page and send it to you. But they're super lightweight, and he's doing them on the little, like Honda Waves and stuff. Those little bikes, and they're using them up there for carts and all kinds of stuff because they're real light. And these people are buzzing along. Those little like Waves and stuff, they have no clutch. They have no clutch. Thing. You just sort of hit the gas and then let off, and it shifts into the next higher gear. It's a sprocket gearing thing or something or another. Centrifugal clutch is what it's got on it, guys. Kind of like, but they work pretty good. And he also does them for. He also does tricycles, little 2-seaters for people for a meal. Now, one thing I can't understand, what nobody's thought of here. And I just think it would be a great idea. If you're going to have a 2-seater tricycle, they make these things so damn wide. Why don't they make a narrow one where you're sitting like on a motorcycle, the passenger, and pull that wheel in, make it a little bit more narrow, or have them one person sit forward, one person sit backwards, where you can get in the front or the back open. That would be an idea. I got all kinds of ideas for tricycles, but something that Filipinos do when they make stuff. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of innovators to me. There are some here, but a handful. It's just a handful of innovators, and then nobody accepts it, so they don't make out. But what they get really good at is just building. They can build things like the Jeepneys. Jeepneys haven't changed in 50, 60 years. You know what I mean? Since the old World War II ones wore out. Tricycles haven't changed. They're the same, guys. They're pretty much the same. And then when people see one like this one, they're like, oh, that's different. The kids did their chores last night. I had them pull the. Well, they got most of the plastic off. There's a little bit more. There's my nice little box I made. We'll see if it gets rain in it. But you can see this is, guys, this thing's just so heavy duty. Just in itself, it's pretty heavy. But with the kids in it last night, we did buzz along pretty good. We got that nice. The other thing that we got to do is we have to close. I'm going to have to close this off just this section right here, because when we were coming through Batangas, there had been a super heavy rain. Well, the sewers, instead of draining the water, they were expelling water out. We passed one that it was like 4 feet in the air, and blowed out there was deep water. And I'm not going to go through there at a walking speed. I was trying to stay with the traffic and stay out of everybody's way. And this front tire sent a boatload of water in her. It's a good thing she had plastic, but we have to make a shield here. And also, we need to make something that we could flap down here. We need to have something that'll close this off. Now, he did that for air. That's cool. And the other thing, too, I got to get the wax on these. I got to get the wax on this windshield. Now, this thing right here, when you go to build a tricycle, absolutely get one of these, because it was so cool. My eyes are looking right through here, and you can even see from the mist. Even though we got through some rain, and a little, not super heavy, but a pretty good rain, it kept this clear enough here. Now down here was completely covered with droplets, and it was hard to see. But this little area, so this is a great idea. Another thing, guys, don't cheap out on the mirrors. Do not cheap out on the mirrors. Now I got a big concave one that's going to go here. My blind spot is over there because of the height of this thing. It's a little bit blind with the bananas on it. Now what I'm going to do, when I had the other one, I had the same problem. I had the same problem. So what I did was I put a mirror over here. I put a mirror over here that stuck up, and then I had no blind spot anymore. And I'll do that. I got a nice piece of metal I can hook something onto, get somebody welded on, as long as nobody rips it off and breaks it. But these mirrors just were worth every penny. Even though they're not the bulged ones, concave, they worked perfect. The only problem I have when I go to get off, I keep hitting my head in this one. So I'm going to have to dangle me something right here to remind me. But they missed a little bit of plastic last night. We got to get the rest of that plastic off. I got to give this baby a bath. We named it the Family Munyon when I was down there getting it built, because the Munyons take that nunyuk, and they have, some of them still have red teeth. I wanted the red pinstriping and the red under there. Oh, and for the homage to the Munyons, because we live in Munyon land now. That's where our property is, and so we got a little red, and I'll probably do a red pinstripe on the gas tank. And so the name of this trike is the Family Munyon. So, but see, this is one thing. When this guy actually went to school, this is something too. When you watch him build, my other one, everything came straight here. Okay, so it wasn't as strong, and we had welds break. This one, if you triangulate it like he did, see, all these are a little bit off. This one's off. This one, that makes it much stronger, guys. This thing, there's no shake in this one like my old one. There's none. And I still would like to put, just to make it super tough, just a removable one to here, right across here to strengthen this up. But she's super tough. I think if there was any sort of accident, and people do watch out for you. When you're coming down the road, we've seen people who are going to pull out, and they seen me coming and just, nah, I ain't pulling out. It's a tricycle. He's going to hit me. They don't care. That's just how it goes. But don't want to make this one too long, guys. We're just some final impressions on this. I got some work to do today. We're also going to have to make a place, because I don't want to leave this out on the street. Pretty soon, we're going to lose any parking spots here when they build other houses. Hopefully, we'll be gone by then to Mindoro. That's the place we ought to be. So we loaded up the trike and we moved to Mindoro. Take care, guys. Rickshaw out.